All right, take it from a guy who was out a little while this summer. I've concluded that trust is a very big issue in this election year. The Republican side really doesn't trust the Democratic side. The Democratic side doesn't trust the Republican side. And each side tends to fuel the argument by their unwillingness to volunteer information or consistent information, whether it's Donald Trump with his tax returns, so say Democrats, or Hillary Clinton with her health record, so say Republicans. Enter Bishop T.D. Jakes, of course, famous as the host of the T.D. Jakes Show, multiple bestseller, to try to get everybody on the same page, the same trustworthy page. Bishop, it's always great to have you.
Thank you, Neil. Pleasure to be with you.
What is the problem we have? I mean, there's inherent distrust. Hillary Clinton must be hiding something, Bishop, because the story changes on her health. You know, Democrats say Donald Trump is the inability to produce tax returns or the refusal to. So neither side trusts the other. Neither side broaches agreement with the other. It's out of control.
You know, it is out of control, but the thing about it is I think that the American people have had enough time to listen at both candidates discuss their issues and heard the contradictions to the discussion to the point that people have made their minds up as it relates to trusting them for overall honesty on one side or the other. Where I think that we're really fragmented is we don't know what to trust, not just who, but what, because we've spent so much time talking about the personalities and not really delved into the policies. I really would like to get away from the fringes of their larger-than-life personalities and get down to exactly what they are going to do specifically. We're getting some of it, but we're not really getting enough of it. And those of us who understand that we need a leadership that is prepared to deal with the kinds of crises that we just memorialized on 9/11, we really want to be able to understand what are their policies, what are their leadership skills, and it's specifically what level of experience they bring to the table. And I think experience does count in this issue.
Do you ever wonder, though, as a man of God, when you hear this, and both candidates are very good at this, avoiding direct or specific answers or to speak in broad generalities, or if it's an unpleasant issue, not to bring it up at all, whether it's Hillary Clinton with her health records or Donald Trump and his business dealings, that you just take it as a given that they're not going to volunteer that the stories are going to be inconsistent, and then you move on to say, all right, they're human. We all do this sort of thing. We all try to protect ourselves. We all have cover for ourselves. So you move on from that.
You know, I'm frustrated like everyone else is in the whole process of being able to really nail down into something specific, but all bets are off the table with this election because this is not just about politics. It's really about two different nations, two different languages trying to communicate. From my view, Donald Trump speaks from a corporate level, a business level. He approaches politics as if it were an acquisition of a piece of property, and he has a different rule book from Hillary Clinton, who approaches it like a politician, and they are two different rule books. And I think it has thrown all of us off in trying to figure out how do we really handle the nuances of this very unique situation that I can't remember, at least in my lifetime, in the history of this country, where we cannot go back and look at how, say, for instance, Donald Trump has voted as a senator or in the past through the political system. We have to go and look at his record as a business person because we have nothing else to go on. And then to look at Hillary and to look at her background and how consistent she is on certain issues and inconsistent on others. It's really just a quagmire from which we are in a very unique situation. And I think the American people are quite disturbed on both sides of the political spectrum.
Well, you know what they have, and you've heard this before, Bishop, where people are going to choose the lesser of the evils, or holding their nose. I don't flip over either, but I dislike this person less. Having said that, who do you trust the least?
That's a really hard question to answer, and even if I knew the answer, which I'm not sure in my own mind that I really do, I wouldn't divulge it in this setting, because what I try to do with my congregants and those who follow us is encourage them to vote without influencing how they vote.
So that's your very savvy way, Bishop, of not answering my question. I deeply admire that. Now, in the new show, but in the new show, are you gonna dive in and say, all right, here's who I support, here's who I like?
Well, no, I'm not going to do that. But in the new show, I'm going to draw our attention away from the people down, from the politicians down to the people who are suffering in our cities and in our communities who are not really getting the help they need. In the new show, I want to deal with the unrest that is burgeoning up out of these inner cities and out of our neighborhoods as people are struggling to make ends meet. And what are we going to do with jobs? How is it affecting marriages? How is it affecting our families and our understanding of love and community and well-being?
All right. So I think you're going to mention politics, and I think you're going to announce on your show who you're supporting for president. You're just not going to announce it here.
Not going to happen, Neil.
All right. I'll get you.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm going to get you in a week moment.
Watch the show.
All right, I will.
Watch the show.
Bishop T.D.
Okay.
Jakes, the T.D. Jakes show. He's a powerful guy. If you ever shake his hand, he could break it. That's how powerful he is. Bishop, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Thanks for having me, Neil. Take care of yourself.
All right, you too. Now, I don't know if the bishop is an iPhone aficionado, but I want you to look at these guys. They've been on this line, some of them for days, waiting to get an iPhone. Apparently, they're oblivious to the fact you can get this online, have it delivered to your home. I don't know what the bishop would think of that, but a couple of choice adjectives come to mind.